Hi guys, this is Erika, and in today's video I'm answering one of your questions. Thanks again for sending your questions. I love answering them. I've been having a lot of fun answering your questions. Keep them coming. But before we start, I want to remind you that we are giving away a free course called How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. All the details are down below. Also, if you would like to work with me, I would love to help you. My sale is still going. All the details are down below as well. So let's start with this video. So yeah, I'll be answering this question. I'm going to summarize it, and I also will say why. But yeah, it's a bit long, and also I will tell you why I'm gonna summarize it. But I'm setting the intention that you're gonna listen to this story, right? But if you're in a similar story, I intend that is gonna help you, that you're gonna get something out of it. If you're manifesting something completely different, remember, it's the same type of mindset, the way that you're supposed to do. Remember, everything is mindset, and all you have to do is change the story. But you can take the same approach, right? Take the same steps, just change the subject. But yeah, I intend that this video will help a lot of you guys. Okay, so this person is starting with okay. It's a bit of a long story, so bear with me. Me and my partner started dating in the middle of August, but we separated about 5 weeks ago, and I've been blocked and had no contact since. We have an amazing relationship, and she's so amazing to me. She accepts me for who I am, and trusts me and opens to me about things she's never told anybody. She tells me all the time I'm the only person to ever remind her of her dad, which is a huge deal for her to say. We talk all day, every day via WhatsApp, and we sleep and wake up next to each other every day. That is so sweet. She even chooses to sleep next to me when she has friends over that she hasn't seen in a long time on numerous occasions. We've had an amazing weekend away together in September, which she told me she loves me for the first, we had an amazing, so they had a trip in September, and she told him for the first time that she loves him. And she said she couldn't believe she said it first, and I told her I love her too. That is so romantic. We had the most romantic weekend together. Amazing food in a cabin with the fire pit and breakfast in the morning. All around was the best weekend ever, and she said the same too and thanked me for it so many times. And this is why I'm telling you that I'm gonna summarize it, because I want you to keep all of these beautiful moments. I want you to keep this beautiful story of you guys being together, of you guys having an amazing time, of you loving each other, of her telling you I love you, of you telling her I love you as well, of her feeling appreciating you, and like knowing that you love her, feeling safe with you, and you feeling appreciated back, right? Knowing that she loves me and I feel safe in this relationship. This is the story that I want you to keep, okay? But we'll talk more about it. Okay, so we then booked a trip away for the 9th of December till the 13th of December abroad to see the Christmas markets in Germany, which I'm still excited for. It's in 2 weeks away. Now, I know that maybe this video is going to be posted a little bit late, but it doesn't matter what the dates are. You have your whole life ahead of you. And if you're going to book, I'm intending that she's already back and you guys are together, and you're going to take that trip together. Okay? But it doesn't matter what day of the month or what year or what it is. I want you to keep the story of like, we're always together. We go out on trips. We enjoy our life together. We enjoy trips together. It's the most romantic trips that we've ever taken, right? If something that can really help you, especially when we're talking about time frames or whatever you want to call it, I don't want you to be focused on time. So something that helps me a lot is create an imaginal scene that represents that you're already there before you fall asleep, especially before you fall asleep, but you can do it any time of the day just because it feels good. But again, I feel like before you fall asleep because you're taking that to the subconscious world, right? Create a scene where you guys are there. I will see all the decorations, the Christmas decorations, and I will like right? The background is there, we're there. And now have her imagine that she's saying or doing something that represents that you guys are together, and play it on a loop over and over and fall asleep with that, knowing that you're not just making it up out of thin air. The fact that you are able to see that imaginal scene is because there's a version of you and her that are already there. It's already created, it already exists. You're just tuning in, kind of like the radio, right? You're tuning in into that version of both of you. That's all you have to do. That's how you manifest. You're tuning into our reality that already exists. You're not making it out of like, I don't know, like creating a castle out of sand. No. You don't have to make anything. It's already created. All you have to do is tuning in with that version of you that already exists. That's why they say creation is finished. Okay, that's what I will recommend. So that trip was planned. Okay, things were going great, and we carried on sleeping with each other every night, no matter what. And then it got to the point where she wanted some space. Now remember that whenever they want some space, when everything start to go cold, it's happening because you have a story that maybe now, like, we will have to talk, right, for me to ask you more questions. But maybe you have the story of like, I don't know, relationships don't last for me, because maybe in the past you've had the pattern of like things are great and then all of a sudden they just go away, right? Like relationships don't last, or they always leave me, or whatever the story is. That's why it's showing up. Well, what we're supposed to do when we notice that this person is starting to be cold and wanting space, our job is to say, that is not who I am. That is not my choice. This is what is happening. She wants me more than ever. She's spending more time with me. Like, I'm the one that has to ask for space, because like we're always together. She's like a magnet to me. She's like a Velcro dog with me, right? Don't pay attention to that, because when we're like, oh yeah, she's asking for space and she's colder and we're creating, again, we're not creating, we're tuning into that reality where they want the space, because that's where all of our fears kick in, right? Especially when we love that person so much, when we like them so much, the fears kick in. Also, I know, because of my own story, because I've talked to thousands of people at this point, all the time that I've been coaching, 99 point something percent, all these fears come from childhood. If we saw our parents having a relationship that reflects the fact that, I don't know, relationships don't work, or for me, it's all the guys that I love, they leave, or I'm not the priority to the men that I love, or whatever the story, right? It's just a story. But our job as consciously manifesting reality, not subconsciously, but consciously manifesting reality, is to say, no, sir, no, ma'am, that is not for me. That is not my choice. And I'll talk more about it. But okay, so she started to ask for space, right? Which I understood, and she could never go through with it. And will always ask me to come in the end. So like, she will ask for space, and I'm like, no, actually, like, come back. And again, that is just the reflection. Probably, I'm assuming that you are like on your mindset, and so you will see that back and forth, right? The hot and cold. But again, all we have to do is ignore the circumstance, ignore the illusion, and remind yourself that this is how I want it to be, right? You can have, the uncomfortable feelings in your stomach, or like feel sad or upset, but like, it doesn't matter what you're feeling wise, but this is what is going to say, this is what I want instead. Okay, sorry guys, I think I got an eyelash in my eye, but we're gonna keep going. Okay, so yeah, basically, like, she will go back and forth, right? And by the way, like, you are so sweet, you are so caring, and tell yourself that you are appreciated for that. A lot of women out there will love a partner that is treating his girlfriend, his lady, the way you are. So tell yourself, I am appreciated, because I'm thinking that you have an assumption that what I do is not appreciated all the time. Maybe sometimes, but not all the time, right? That's not consistent. So tell yourself that you are loved and appreciated consistently. And don't feel like you have to do more than enough to show your worth and value. Say, I don't have to do anything. I'm loved and appreciated and valued just because I am, just because I exist, right? Because sometimes I notice this with myself. I will go above and beyond with my person, right? To show him like, oh, look, like I love you so much. Look, I care about you so much. Kind of like to prove my worth and value, but we don't have to do that because that's also coming from lack. Thinking that we're not good enough, so we're showing that, look, I am, right? But if it's coming from lack, then the reflection is what? They're gonna reflect like, yeah, I don't really, like, you're gonna prove me that you're valuable because you don't feel like you're valuable, then they see me as not valuable, right? So that's something else that I would recommend for you, or and anyone, not or and everyone else that is in a similar situation. Okay. So yeah, basically, we're gonna summarize it, right? Again, I want you to keep the good story. From then on, it kind of went downhill. She was asking for space, right? And then there was a situation where he went to see her because she's like, come over. He showed up, and then all of a sudden, like, she's like, what are you doing? I'm not happy that you were here. Like, kind of like, you're not invited. You were not welcome here. Like, you know, like, she was just not nice. Basically saying like, you're stalking me, right? Like that type of thing. And again, this is just a story of you not feeling like you're a priority to her. You're not loved unconditionally, right? Like you're not wanted, you're not welcome, like, and it's not consistent, right? Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're not. So there's that. I feel like there's that I don't feel safe because I don't know when we're gonna be good, and I don't know when we're gonna be good, right? Like I don't know when. But so I would really recommend for you to have a story of the love that I have from her is consistent. I feel safe consistently. We're good, we're amazing all of the time. I'm loved, I'm appreciated, I'm a priority to her, right? No matter what I do, she always wants me there. She's like that Velcro doggy, like Prince, right? Like she's always there with me, right? We have an amazing relationship. Again, the first part of your story, I want you to keep that story, and I want you to ignore the reality, the 3D, the circumstances that are showing up in front of you. That's why Neville used to say, be blind to the senses. Okay, so yeah, basically all went down. And she's like, no communication, no contact. I wrote down some notes. She was asking for space. Then she's like, leave me alone. Before in the past, she used to be like, you're my guardian angel. They will fall asleep on the phone. And so how do you think? Well, I know, like, I'm sure it feels awful. Like when someone's like, oh, you're my everything. All of a sudden, like, what are you doing here? It's like, what? Like, light and darkness, right? Like completely opposite. But again, your job is to just persist in the story of like, I'm always her guardian angel. And I will say, and I feel like she's my guardian angel too, right? Is that feeling and sense of safety, both reciprocated, right? I always see the 8, the infinity sign. It comes back to me, right? We both feel it. It's not just one way, because I'm pretty sure that you don't feel that back, especially now with the lack of communication. Okay. So yeah, just issues, right? And then but yeah, like you are an amazing boyfriend that was supporting her emotionally, supporting her financially, whatever she needed, like always sending money, sending gifts, like for her to feel that love, right? And that's amazing. So tell yourself she really appreciates that and is reciprocated, right? I think we also have to, because we're like, oh no, she doesn't need to give me anything. No, like be in the, like, I'm welcoming for that love to come back to me. It doesn't have to be anything expensive or anything. It can be as simple like a note saying, I love you and I appreciate you. Be open to receive. Because sometimes we're just giving, and we're like, yeah, but I don't get that back, right? No, like intend and assume that is also, I'm also open and I'm receiving it way back. If I give something like one, let's say money-wise, $1, it comes back to me multiplied. It comes back to me 1,000,000,000 times more. Because I deserve it. Tell yourself, I deserve to be loved and appreciated. I deserve to feel safe in a relationship. I deserve to feel like she's my guardian angel too, right? But yeah, even through all the issues, like he was still sending like beautiful gifts and stuff, and like, so again, you deserve to get that back. Okay. Let's go to the very end. And then you had that fear that, oh, what if she's doing this, right? Let go of the fears. Tell yourself, I am reality, and in my reality, I don't have to be afraid of anything. Why? Because I'm the only one that's deciding what's going to happen. I'm the only one that's deciding what she's going to do, how she's going to show up. Remove the fear of she's going to be doing A, B, C, and D. Because you notice that when you had that fear, what if that fear was getting reflected back, right? So let go of the fear, and whatever your guys' fear is, again, remove it. When you notice that fear in the body, and I feel it in the stomach, tell yourself, I am fearless. I'm so thankful because in this reality, in my new reality, there's nothing to be afraid of. God is pure love. God, I am God. God is pure love, and in this reality, there's nothing to be afraid of. Why? Because I'm consciously selecting and choosing everything. And even if something shows up that I don't like, it's there for me to say, no, 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 that's not for me. That's not my choice. That's not who I am anymore. This is who I am. Thank you, but no thank you. Next, right? So, no fear. We are fearless. Okay, so, at the end, I want to read the end because, again, that's part of what I want you to keep. This girl is my home and I am her home. Yes, you are. Keep that story. And I know she misses me. Yes, she does. Especially when you assume she does. But give it an action. Yes, she's missing me, so this is what she's doing. Instead of maybe thinking, oh, she misses me, but she's not talking to me. No. Because she's missing me so much, this is what she's doing. Because she's missing me so much, she's reaching out to me. She's blowing on my phone. She's knocking on my door. Assume that she's the one that's going outside your door and outside your window and knocking on the doors because she is desperate to talk to you, because you're extremely important to her, because you're the love of her life. We're going to drop the old story of like she's not talking to me, she's mad at me or whatever. No. This is what she's doing. Why? Because I say so. Because I'm the one that's choosing. And we'll go back to that. So, because she misses me, yes. I know she thinks about me 24/7, yes. And I know she can't sleep or live without me, yes, yes, yes. And I just can't wait to give her a big hug. There will be tears, but tears of happiness, yes. So create that imaginal scene where she's doing all that and she's telling you all that. And it's going to happen again, not because you're making it out of thin air, it's because it's a reality that's already created. You just have to tune in, ignore the madness, ignore the 3D circumstances that right now are not what you want and desire. They are there. They're actually our best friends. The 3D is our best friend, good or bad, but especially the bad, because it's there to show us what story we need to change. Oh, thank you. Let's edit this nonsense. That's not what I want. Okay, I was gonna say Control Alt Delete, right? Like in the computer, the keys, we're deleting that. No, thank you. We're editing that. Okay, so you say, I've stopped looking at her page. Yeah, stop looking social, stop looking anything that is the reflection of she's still not with me. What I do when I know that is going to be a trigger, I mute whatever I have to mute, because I know that if I go digging, I might find something that's going to trigger me and it's going to take me back to I don't have it and I don't want to go there. But even if I do, I'll just revise it. If I see something I don't like, okay. So what do you want instead? Again, that 3D is your friend. However, I haven't heard from her yet. So that's the story that we have to completely delete. stay in the story of we are better than ever. The communication is there. She's consistently there. I'm the love of her life. She can live without me, and she shows me with actions. Ask for actions. Tell yourself that she's already there with you. But we're gonna drop. We're gonna stop being the old man, right? We're gonna die to the old story, to the old version of they're still not talking to me. Nope. When that thought comes to your mind, no. What? Like, she's blowing up my phone. We're better than ever. Like, this woman is like obsessed with me, loves me so much. Like, I don't even have a time for myself because she's always there. That's the story that we're keeping. This affected me a lot, and I've had to take time off work sick. I'm signed off for 3 weeks, but I caught myself in reacting as soon as the doctor signed me off. And I've been taking care of myself. Good. Prioritizing myself. Good. Going for a walk, to the gym, anything to keep me busy and in a good state. Yes. And this is something that is extremely important. We need to prioritize ourselves. Just by changing the story of ourselves without having to include SP's story, that's going to completely turn things around. Focus on yourself on, for example, I am everyone's priority. I'm always the one that's chosen. I'm always the best. I know that I'm the best thing that everyone in my life has ever had. I am prioritized. I am, what did we say? I am appreciated. I am prioritized. I'm the best. I'm a king. I'm like, gas yourself up, because that's the truth. That's your truth. Yeah, prioritize yourself. Because when you're good, they show up good, right? If you're telling yourself, I am everyone's top priority, everyone, including her, has to show up prioritizing you. I am loved unconditionally by everyone in my reality. Everyone has always loved me unconditionally. Just by doing that, she's included. So she has to show up loving you unconditionally, right? So, but again, it's also important to change the story that you have about her. You can say everyone prioritizes me, especially her. Because when the 3D's showing up the way that it's showing up, there's a story like, yeah, but she's not, right? So that's the story that we really have to change as well. But everything can turn around just by prioritizing yourself, by only thinking of you. Don't be afraid that if I just focus on myself, she's gonna go away. No, impossible. That's impossible. Okay, so I still know she loves me. Facts. Because you decide, period. And I'm the love of her life, yes. And I know she's going to message me now because I know she wants to be in this relationship. Yes, yes, yes. And I know she loves me and talking to me and my company. She says it herself. And in my company, like, she says it herself. But I thought it will still be a good idea to send this and get us to reply. And here it is, your response. But yeah, this is the story that I want you to keep. We're going to Control-Alt-Delete. We're going to completely delete the old story of everything that it's not for you. That's why it doesn't feel good, because it's not for you. But it's there. Again, that 3D is your best friend because it's there to show you, right? Or to be like, hey, let's delete this because this is what we want instead. But yeah, something that is extremely important when it comes to consciously manifesting, what we have to do is, first of all, the most important thing, and I've been talking about this for a while, right? For a while, is we have to remind ourselves of who we are and all the power is in the I am. Those two very powerful words. That's all the power that we are. We have to remind ourselves that I am. That I am, whoever I say that I am, I become. Because I am is the name of God, right? That's why it's so powerful. That's why we're not supposed to be saying, I am being ignored. I am not being prioritized. I am not in communication with her. No, I am everything good, right? Out of all this that is happening that I don't like, I'm going to change it. I'm going to revise it, right? And you're just going to keep this story of, I am loved, I am adored, I am prioritized. Like, she can live without me because I am loved and adored. She's doing this and this and that because I'm the love of her life, right? Whatever story you have about her, take it back to you, because I am loved, because I am adored, because I am prioritized, because I am safe in my love relationships, because I am in relationships that last forever. Right? We are each other's home. I am her home, right? Always go back to the I am. Now, I had this analogy, and I think it's so important for us to use it with whatever, right? Again, if I am reality, right? If I'm the most important person in my reality because it's my reality, it is my story, right? The 3D is not gonna tell me who I am, right? We know that the 3D is a reflection of whatever story we had, right? So it's literally just an illusion. That's why I have the analogy of we're like a movie projector, right? And whatever is like on the 3D on the screen is just an illusion. It's just a projection of the story that we had in the mind. So if she's saying like, oh, I don't want to talk to you, or she's not talking to you, we're not gonna let the 3D, the illusion, to tell us who we are, right? We're not gonna believe that, oh, she doesn't want me, right? That illusion, that 3D, she is not deciding who you are, right? You only decide who you are. We're not letting the 3D, we're not letting the illusion. If we have a third party, we're not letting the third party tell us who we are. She's not choosing. If you have a third party, which is not your case, the third party is not choosing. The money, if I don't have money, but I want money, the money is not telling me who I am. My boss is not telling me who I am. Nobody is telling me who I am, right? So that illusion is there for me to remind me who I am, for me to say, no, this is who I am, right? It's kind of like, and the analogy is kind of like, you guys know that I've talked about the movie The Notebook so many times, right? It's this love story where the main character is Noah and Ali, and they have this amazing, beautiful love story where they go through ups and downs, but the love that they have for each other is so strong that they stay together. And I don't want to spoil it, so if you haven't watched it, don't listen to this part, where they stay together forever, right? So now it's like, going back to my analogy, right, and explaining how the 3D is not going to tell me who I am, right? Imagine that Noah, the main character, instead of loving and adoring Ali, is going to tell the writer who's writing the story, actually, no, I don't want to be with Ali. I want to be with Mary and Susie and Dorothy, right? And I want to play around, and I'm never going to get married to anyone. I'm going to live till I'm like 60, 70, single and free and doing whatever I want. I don't want commitment. I don't want responsibilities. I just want to be a playboy, right? No, Noah is not going to tell the writer who Noah wants to be. Noah is going to be whoever the writer is telling Noah that he's gonna be. So it's the same thing with manifesting, with consciously manifesting. Whenever the 3D is showing something we don't want, we're not gonna let that story tell us who we are. No. So I remind myself, we're supposed to remind ourselves that in your case, she's not gonna tell me who I am, because right now the 3D is telling me, for example, I'm not a priority. I'm not valued. I'm not whatever that you don't want, right? But it's your job to say, no, baby, you're not telling me who I am. I tell you how you're gonna show up. I'm choosing a version of you that is what I love, what I want, what I deserve. So nothing and nobody, including you, is gonna tell me who I am. So it's your job to tell yourself who you are. And by persisting in telling yourself who you are, regardless of what is showing up, that's when you see movement. And again, it's so totally okay for you to feel sad, to be upset. Doesn't matter. Emotions, I think they even help. I just recently had something that happened to me in the 3D, and I was so upset. And I was like really, really upset. And I reminded myself like, no, that's not gonna happen anymore. Nothing's gonna tell me who I am. Thank you, but no thank you. I was so upset. I was like, I'm done with experiencing that. I'm done. And I used that energy, right, to be like, that's the last time that's gonna happen, because this is who I am. Nothing and nobody's gonna tell me who I am. I'm only deciding who I am. I'm the only one that can choose. So I'm choosing for you to show up this way. And that's it. I don't care what's showing up out there. I don't care. I literally don't care, because I'm the only one that's gonna choose what I want. And I'm gonna make a video about my routine, how I've been approaching reality, right? And things are moving fast, especially the way that I want them to show up. So if you have to get upset, use that anger, use that whatever emotion, right, in your favor. That's why people go and, like, you know, they start the techniques, right, of like the dark energy, the femme energy, the main character, the villain, both, whatever, right? Yeah, use all that to be like, this is no more. I'm the one that's choosing. From now on, I'm always gonna win. I'm always gonna get what I want because this is my reality, and no one's gonna tell me what's gonna happen, what I'm going to experience. Okay, no more. Take back the reins, right? Take back your power. It's always been there for you, but we forgot. We forgot who we were. We forgot that all we have to do is to make a choice, and that's how she's gonna turn around. So I know it's 30 minutes. I'm sorry that it's too long. I'm intending that you guys got something really, really good out of it. I'm intending that specifically the person that sent the email, thanks again. I'm intending that it was really, really helpful. Again, drop the whole story. It doesn't matter what's happening in the 3D. Stick to the end, right? Stick to the beautiful story. And of course she'll be back. And of course, she'll be back the way that you want her to, because you're only going to choose the version of her that you prefer. The one that showed up in the beginning, and like you mentioned her in the end. Everything else is going to go out the door. If it's still showing up in the 3D, no. That is not my choice. I am reality. And as me being reality, I'm choosing how she's showing up. Right? In my reality, this is how she has to show up. And she has to. But don't mess with the middle. Don't mess with 3D. Don't mess with that. Like yeah, it's there, but no thank you. Thank you, but no thank you. That's not for me. No one's gonna tell me how she's gonna show up. And she will show up according to the story that you're consistently telling yourself that it is. Right? From that place of power, from that place of knowing that you are reality. And she's not going to tell you how she's going to show up. Just like Noah's not going to tell the writer of the story of the notebook how he wants to show up. He doesn't have that power. In the same way, your SP doesn't have that power. Nothing in our reality has the power to tell us how it's going to be. Only us. And when we take that power back, that's how things show up quickly, because we just remember that we are reality, that we are the God of our realities, that we are the creators of our reality, which is not, we're the ones that are selecting realities that already exist. We're just tuning in to that reality that's already created. That's why we have the desire. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you for liking, watching, subscribing. Again, if you are interested in working with me, all the details are down below. I really intend that like it was a very, very helpful video. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.